Hi, everybody. So this is to walk you guys very quickly through your first essay assignment. And this is essentially a mini essay given the very quick nature of this course, but essentially you're looking at what you've learned this week. And you're looking at the different texts that you've read following the end of the Civil War. And these texts kind of give you a view or idea of the economic, social, and political ideas that were floating around as we created this quote-unquote new American identity. So what I want you to do is choose one of the authors and works that you read in this unit, and you're going to develop a written analysis of the particular work that you read in this course from that author. You're going to incorporate some elements related to their life, to the cultural history, or what was going on at the time. So really what you're doing is you're looking at how the work reflects specific literary elements, and then how those literary elements kind of speak to what this new American identity was. So some things to think about would be how does the author and work influence or impact the social, political, or economic changes that were happening? How does that author and work fit in or not fit in with this new quote-unquote American identity? How did they help shape these ideals? And how do they approach these concepts? Do they use their work to achieve a particular goal or message? Why is this text important in terms of history? So, importantly, I want you to think about why the author and the text matter, but keep the focus on analyzing the text, so looking at it as a literary analysis piece. You do need to have one source in your work. This could be something, as long as it's credible, something from the internet like PBS or history.com or biography.com. Just make sure that you cite it correctly in the text and have it on a bibliography as well. So to craft this, you want to make sure you have a clear intro with a thesis, which is your argument, and main ideas that are supported with evidence from the text. So that means you pull out quotes, specific words or phrases or sentences that show or support your ideas. So your essay needs to be 1.5 to 2 pages and is due on Sunday, July 14th at midnight, 11:59 p.m. Remember that everything is checked through for plagiarism through SafeAssign, and this means that you have to get to at least the middle of the second page. Anything less than that, and I will take off points. So you guys have some choices that you read here. You read Whitman or Du Bois, Du Bois or Washington, Chopin or de Calasat, and Whitman. So choose one of these. Don't choose more than one, and choose the work that you read for that author in this course. So make sure that you have good, close analysis of the work and its ideas, as well as secondarily notes on the sort of how the author's identity or the historical context kind of create different meaning. Have lots of good evidence, so good quotes from the text, both from the primary and the secondary sources. Proper number of sources, so that means one at least. Proper page length, MLA, and citations, and a bibliography, of course, and a good essay structure with an intro, clear main ideas, and a conclusion. Some things you could think about. Look at characterization. Look at things like archetypes or protagonists, antagonists. Look at how the characters are developed. Are they flat? Are they round? Are they dynamic? Look at literary devices like similes, metaphors, foreshadowing. Look at conflict and different elements of the structure. So is it man versus society? Look at the point of view of the narrator. Is it first or third person, omniscient? And then look at things like literary concepts. So what is the theme? What are symbols? What are the allusions to? Why is that important? And then lastly, look at things like the historical context. So look at the author's biography. Look at the historical events surrounding the work, and how does the work kind of reflect those ideas. So for example, if I was going to do something like Kate Chopin's Story of an Hour, I would make sure I had a good introduction that captured my audience's attention, a thesis statement, which would be centered around one of these sort of general concepts. So I would make an argument, say that Chopin criticizes the institution of marriage as her theme in the text. That would be my thesis statement. My main ideas would be something like the protagonist of Mrs. Mallard is a round character, while the husband is not. My second main idea would be something like the foreshadowing of her heart stopping is, at the beginning of the story. And then my third idea might be something like the third person point of view, omniscient point of view, allows us to see the true feelings of a female character in a way that she couldn't have shown, that Chopin could not have shown otherwise. So that's just an example, but that's how I might structure that essay, and then I'd pull out specific quotes that relate to it, and to show those points. And then, of course, I'd want to, at some point, bring in the fact that all of this is very relevant to Chopin's own trapped marriage, and the fact that she ended up committing suicide. So that's for just an example of what an essay might look like for this. And again, it's only 1.5 to 2 pages. You're more than welcome to write more. You just can't write less. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I want you to go ahead and move on and work on your essay.